I'm Lynn.
I'm Amanda.
And
this is the Pursuit of Badasserie, the podcast.
We're cutting through the fluff and cracking open what it really takes to build a business and life that you actually want.
No gurus, no gatekeeping, just real talk, big action, and the badass energy you need to scale and slay.
Some episodes, it's just us.
And sometimes we bring on powerful guests with stories that'll hit home.
Either way, this is not about playing small.
It's about going all in.
Let's get after it. Hey there, I'm Lynn.
And I'm Amanda. Welcome to the Pursuit of Badasserie, the podcast. Listen, there is a hidden tax most entrepreneurs are paying every single month, and they don't even realize it. It's the cost of staying stuck in the identity of overworked employee inside a business, a job that you created for yourself. And believe it or not, it's a $30,000 monthly fine you're paying yourself. Let's talk about it.
Yes. Most founders and entrepreneurs think their biggest business expense is overhead or payroll, when actually we're talking about how you not doing certain things or doing too many things is costing you a ton of money. And you're actually the own bottleneck of your business. So let's start off with talking about essentially that it's a mindset thing. A lot of this has to do with mindset. And Amanda, and depending on what podcast you just listened to, Amanda and I both talk a lot about this. Amanda literally just said this, but if you want it done right, do it yourself type of mentality. And what's happening is that you are strangling your business because everything has to come through you. You are only so much of a conduit or even a container to be able to do things. And so when you are bottlenecking everything, you're not allowing the flow to happen. Mindset is huge when it comes to this because there are so many different little sayings I can think of, not just the one I said, but if I'm going to hire somebody, I'm paying them my money that I should be making. No, well, that frees you up to be able to actually do something that's moving the needle, that is creating more income. If you go out and your hourly price for yourself, like the amount that you're worth on that hour is $500 an hour, and you pay somebody $50 to do said tasks or whatnot, then you're actually out there. You're not only getting all of the tasks done that was taking up capacity, time, space, energy, etc., but then it frees you up the ability of all of that, plus the actual time to be able to go out and make that money. And so it's not a math problem. It's a mindset problem. It's not a math problem. It's a mindset problem.
I feel like it's also an identity shift.
Yeah.
It's separating the entrepreneurs who plateau from those who actually build a real business. Because the moment you stop acting like an employee, you're going to start acting like an owner, and everything changes. I can think of several people who stepped into this new CEO entrepreneur role, but they still have this very, very clear employee mindset of, I'm an entrepreneur, but I'm going to set quote unquote boundaries, which means I'm only going to work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And I'm like, well, that's a very employee mindset to have. That's where you feel like you need every weekend off and you need to work 9 to 5 and you need to make this amount of money doing this menial task. That is a very 9 to 5 employee mindset, and you're trying to step into that new role as CEO, and it's not clicking because those aren't the same things. Those aren't the same roles that you have to have. And it's not because you lack intelligence. It's not because you lack work ethic. It's not because of anything other than you're stuck in the wrong role. You're operating as technician, operator, marketer, problem solver, janitor, instead of strategic owner.
Oh, absolutely. I will also say that on the mindset side, I do want to go back to the mindset of being stuck, right? Where you feel almost like you feel more likely you stay trapped because you're in fixed mindset. in a lot of ways. And I know we talk a lot about fixed versus growth mindset and different things, but you're in this fixed mindset of specific parts of your business. And even like from personal side, that even like your money cap in which you make, what you believe that you can make. And it's killing the ability to be able to like pay yourself and make that money instead of having it as a fine, because you're continuing to play smaller than what you think. There's also a little bit of and I forget the term that this is called. There is a term around it, but essentially how on the business model side, that when we say yes to everything, it dilutes our ability and our margins, right? It dilutes not just our ability to be able to do things, but it dilutes the potential of margins to be able to increase profitability. And you talk a lot about this. It's like that silent killer of margins, because you're just saying yes to everything and you're not going deep enough into things to be able to get the most ROI.
And because you're in this world where you're saying yes to everything and it's very reactive in a lot of ways, and we talk about reactive entrepreneurship and so forth, but because you're not going deeper, you're not going into those partnerships, that strategic marketing, strategic partnerships, real product innovation, and like the high level work, the high level networking, all of that, because you don't see a direct monetary correlation. You don't dive into that because you're like, oh, well, in order to get money, I need to do this service. So I need to perform that service in order to get paid. But you're the CEO. You don't have to do all the services. You don't have to create and sell and do all the products. You need to be ahead of that. You need to be not in the operations, but instead in the growth mode. And you can't do them at the same time. And that's part of that hidden cost. And this monthly fine is that you're not doing the CEO level work. You're fixed in this concept. And actually, there's a lot of times fixed mindset comes along with the scarcity mindset. And you feel like, if I don't do the work that I know makes money, let's say if you're like a service business, if I'm not the one to sell the dress or teach the class or, make the widget, then there's no immediate money coming in and we're all going to close. There's no more money left. You just kind of get stuck in this cycle of barely making enough. You're just doing what needs to be done in order to make money, but you're not growing. You're just getting by. And that's a lot of this overworked employee status versus asset building owner. You can't be both at the same time.
No. And what that creates is this, oh, it'll happen later. I know I started to talk about this, but it'll happen later. I'll build it later, because you are constantly putting out fires and or just doing what you need to do in order to make right on your agreements, if you would, whatever that is, the sale. But every time there's a delay in I'll do it later, what happens is first of all, most don't get done. I mean, the best time to fix a problem is before it happens, but then it's during it and right after. But essentially you continue to make the same mistake. I mean, how many times have you had something happen? You're like, oh, I'll take care of it later. And then even something silly. I wish I could think of something silly right now that isn't even business, but I can't even think about it. But, and then you're like, and then when you go to grab that whatever later and you're like, dang, I forgot to fix this, or I forgot to do this. And it's like this repeated over and over again. Then you're like, oh, I gotta get to that later, but you're wasting time. You're duplicating effort. Amanda and I talk a lot about touch it once. We want you to touch it once. If it takes 5 minutes to do, just do it. And when we are in this cycle of, we'll do it later, we'll put it on our list, which everybody knows we love our list. We'll put out our list, we'll do this, but that do it later is killing your profit margins. It's killing the ability to be able to grow and build systems and processes that give you those fundamentals and foundations to continue to scale and sustain off of. And also with that too, which we didn't even touch in, is when you have the I'll do it later syndrome, which is costing you a ton of money, you are having an inconsistent client experience. And what that means for you is that it is most likely going to have a lower retention rate in your clients because they have less of a consistent experience. And I can think of 4 things that have happened to me in the last couple of months where I'm the client and I've also been a huge referral person for these 4 different people that I'm thinking of. And 2 of them I would say is in the I'll do it later. And it's the same problem again. And it's giving me an all of a sudden inconsistent client experience. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to have a conversation with them because that's who I am. But most won't. Most aren't going to have that conversation. They're going to be like, I'm going to find somebody else. And so systems are freedom. When you delay creating the systems and say that I'll do it later, I'll do it later, I'll do it later, and are in this cycle, you absolutely are hurting yourself. Like you're hurting yourself and your clients.
Absolutely. And I want to kind of give a litmus test for everyone listening right now. So when you wake up and you get ready for your quote unquote work day, whatever that looks like for you, what are you saying to yourself? Like, what's the internal dialogue? Is it what needs to get done today? Not like what strategic things do I need to put in place as a non-negotiable towards needle moving, but are you thinking what needs to get done, or are you thinking what's going to grow the business long term? Because one of those is an employee mindset and the other is an operator or is the owner mindset. And I know that sometimes, I own brick and mortars for 25 years. You get up and you think, what really has to get done? Okay, we have to clean this, we have to do this. But the owner shouldn't be thinking, I need to clean the mirrors, I need to, check and make sure that the parking lot lines are straight, and I need to check inventory. That really isn't owner, that's employee stuff. That's stuff you should be delegating away. And the owner needs to be thinking, what's the business long term? Where am I 6 months from now? Where am I a year from now? What is our strategy for growing in this, and this? Like, these are our top 3 profitable services or goods. How can I grow these 3 in the next year? That's the dialogue you should be having when you wake up in the morning. Not, oh, I need to go check the mail and see if a contract came in. Like, that's employee work. And when you think about asset building thought processes, this is about like vision and direction. It's about, for sure, profit and revenue strategies all the living long day. And partnerships, your systems, leadership, hiring the right people to take over.
Frameworks, decision making.
And of course, your exit. For sure, your exit. And we know why you're not doing it. It's why we didn't do it. It's control. It's perfectionism. It's fear of delegation. It's I can do it faster myself.
Fear of failure.
Yeah, we know the reasons. We've done the reasons. And we can tell you that speed today creates that stagnation tomorrow. Like, just because you can do it faster yourself now doesn't mean it's going to be fast forever. And, the real goal of business isn't just income. It's building something that runs without you constantly being involved. It's leverage that you're creating. It's generating long-term wealth, and it's eventually an exit strategy, whatever that looks like for you.
Yeah. So I do have to give a story about exit strategy. I was creating a business plan for said client, and they wanted to get rid of the exit plan. And this business plan was for funding, essentially. And they're like, oh, they don't want to know that we want to exit. And I'm thinking to myself, are you kidding me? Nobody builds a business to die in it. I mean, very few. But you want to build a business that outlives you. You want to build a business that you can sell or whatever. And I know that there's
to your kids.
Yes, there's exceptions to the rules. But I was like, I had to call them in. I'm like, I'm crazy. Like, this is a situation. And at the end of the day, that is okay. And it stayed in there, by the way. That clause stayed in there because exit strategies are a clear owner exit. Even if it's 50 years down the road, that gives you a point in your future that you can work towards, look forward to, etc. And I know you went through, and I'm just going to say it again, structure creates freedom. When you can build the right structures, build the right systems, etc., just like you were saying, it absolutely helps you stop being the bottleneck, and your business can move faster in the long run in a more sustained, scalable, and sellable way. It gives you the ability to close more deals typically at a higher ROI, and your client retention will absolutely grow. You're able to support better talent and employees or VAs or whoever that contractors, because you have a business that can breathe, because you've created all of this. And you can build a business that will give you the ability to grow without constantly firefighting. There are going to be times where you have to wash the windows. There are going to be times where you have to firefight. Amanda and I have been restructuring. I mean, it seems like every year when you listen to one of our podcasts, we are saying we're restructuring. And we don't restructure, because we do. And we don't restructure necessarily and recreating the wheel. We're leaning down. We're saying, okay, what can we double down on? What do we need to get rid of? Like, we're being strategic in the big vision with the everyday action. So we have our weekly checklist of things that need to get done that we need to do, or we are responsible as our individual to oversee our team to do. And that's in alignment with those three things that Amanda and I are focusing on this year. Those three main needle movers that are absolutely going to move us to the next level. And so because of that, we are not costing ourselves the $30,000 a month. We're increasing our personal ROI within our business because we understand all of these things, but it's work. It's work. It's discipline. It's not having the yes person next to you. It's having the people who are going to keep you accountable and move you forward, but it's also calling ourselves out and holding ourselves accountable in the discipline, et cetera, to be able to make that happen. So that way we don't find ourselves as our most overworked, underpaid employees, but we find ourselves and our team as successful, growing, and financially abundant in what is happening as we move forward in our business.
So we want to ask you, audience, listeners, if you disappeared from your business for 30 days, would your business grow? Would it stall, or would it absolutely collapse? Because the answer reveals whether you built a job or a business.
Yeah.
And
that's a hard one.
It's a hard one. And this isn't to call you out and make you feel bad about your business and where you are. This is simply information to know that you have somewhere to go. So if after 30 days, your business is going like gangbusters and maybe you hit that $1 billion mark for the first time, great. Now you know where to go from there. Or if the answer is, I left for 2 days and the whole thing collapsed, then you know where you need to go from there. It's just information. But be honest with yourself, because if you know the trajectory that you're going now and you don't like it, if you don't change it, you're choosing it.
Exactly. That's on you. You have to look behind the curtain to be able to see what's going on. If you constantly have your head in the hole, the ostrich syndrome, then you're hurting yourself. Listen, we would love to hear your comments. We know that that's a pretty vulnerable question to ask, and it's a hard one. It is so hard personally and professionally to look at yourself in the mirror, look at your business in the mirror and say, what's going to happen here? And we get it. We've been there a cajillion times and we'll continue to be there because we always want to challenge ourselves, challenge our people on our teams to make sure that we're stepping up to the plate for the whole and for the bigger picture. And if we don't ask those questions, then we're allowing complacency to set in and we're actually decreasing that money that we could be making, which means that we are becoming overworked and underpaid for what we do. But if you like this podcast, go ahead and hit subscribe, head over to YouTube. If you're on Spotify, if you're on YouTube, go over to Spotify, but follow us, like us, subscribe to us, and leave us a comment. Let us know what your takeaway was. And also, please share this with somebody in your community that maybe needs to hear this message.
All right. Until next time.
Get after it. Thanks for tuning in. But remember, listening is not doing.
Take what you heard today and move.
Share the episode, leave us a review, and tag us when you take action.
Head over to the pursuitofbadasserie.com and see how we're helping entrepreneurs get results without the fluff.
Until next time,
let's get after it.